So when you're doing a problem like this, I always like drawing it out. So it's a good process to draw it out because then you kind of figure out what's going on and that you fill in everything correctly. Once you fill in everything correctly, then the problem is actually really easy. You just have to make sure you don't make any mathematical errors. But once you have it set up, it's the easy part. Or that's the hard part, and then everything else is easy. So you have a car, and it is currently driving at 30 meters per second. It sees a police officer, or a sheriff in this case, and we'll say it's right there, and it slows down for 0.5 seconds, and it ends up to be 10 meters per second. So here it is. Here's where they see the sheriff. They start slowing down. It takes about 0.5 seconds to get to 10 meters per second. And then we want to find a couple things. When you're doing that, I always think it's a good habit to write VI, VF, ATD, and then fill in everything you know to see which equation you need to use. So my initial velocity was 30, positive. My final velocity was positive 10 meters per second. My time was 0.5 seconds. So now we have two things that we don't know. In this case, we're looking for travel. So the first part, we're looking for this one. Second part, we're looking for this one. So for displacement, we have everything but A. So the equation that you will use is this one, because it does not include A, so we don't need A to solve for it. 1/2 VF, plus VI, is positive 30 plus positive 10 meters per second times 0.5 seconds. So you get 1/2 40 meters per second times 0.5 seconds, and you get 10 meters positive. You're like, okay, that looks good. In the second part, you do the same thing, but now you have all four equations. So once you have all four equations, variables, you can pick whichever equation you want to do. I like this one just because it's the one without any squares, and I could do this in my head. So VF is 30. VI is 10. A is what we're looking for, and time is 0.5. Okay, move, let's see, oops, I got my VI, VF switched, shoot. Good thing I caught that. Move VI over to the other side, and you get negative 20 meters per second equals A times 0.5 seconds. Divide that by 0.5. So negative 20 meters per second divided by 0.5 seconds will give us acceleration. You get negative 40 meters per second squared equals A. Meters per second, that's the correct units for A, and we have them both now. Now we have both A and T. So it's actually pretty straightforward once you kind of fill in. So it's a good habit to draw it out. Once you draw it out, then it's fairly straightforward after that.